Hey there, everybody. It's Shiloh Fayed coming to you this Friday afternoon, checking in with everyone. How was your week? How are you doing now? There has been some crazy stuff going on all over the world. Am I right? So I thought I'd pop on here and give you a little synopsis of my own Black Lives Matter story. So today I went to the Black Lives Matter rally or protest here in Kelowna, British Columbia. It was very good, well attended. There were a lot of really personal, heartbreaking stories being told from the stage. It was kind of like an open mic. If you're wondering where I'm coming from, I'm again in my vehicle, as I usually am these days. Hi, Charlene. I'm in my vehicle because, of course, supporting my daughter in her horsey activities. I'm at a friend's house while she tends to their horses. So yeah, I was at the Black Lives Matter protest today in Kelowna, British Columbia. Really happy I went. The only one from my whole household who attended. So even though I live with people who are visible minorities, they didn't want to come. And who knows what that reason is. I think they were working, but even still, it was such a important thing to go to. I made sure to get there. I wanted, there was a lineup of people to talk on the stage. So there was so many young people sharing stories and pledging their support to the movement, which was super inspiring. Some of them talked about being there against their parents' wishes. Like, it was so inspiring. And I wanted to go up and talk, but the lineup was really long, and I didn't feel that, I didn't feel like it absolutely had to happen. Hi, Diana. So I thought I'd come on here and share a little bit of my own experience around racism. I come from an interracial family, so my dad's from Central America, his dad's from Lebanon, and my mom's from Canada, and I'm not a visible minority by any means. I mean, people can tell I'm a little bit of maybe a different culture, but I mostly look white. So being raised in an interracial family, things were different for me in the sense that I didn't really notice. Like, I remember not really even being aware that my dad was from another culture. Like, that kind of stuff didn't really make any difference to me. It didn't really perfect by any means. And also I assume because I'm white, more like I look white and have had experienced white privilege most of my life, I assume I'm racist. Okay, I'm not gonna try to say, oh, I'm not racist because I come from this interracial family and stuff. I've experienced white privilege my whole life, let's be honest. For the most part, look at me, I look white, right? And so as a white person, I'm simply assuming I'm racist in many ways that I don't know. But when I do see racism, my friend's house, I'll go closer to my friend's house, that might help. In a couple of different situations specifically, I have stood up for what I felt was really important and went against my values. And some of the standing up I did involve my own children, actually. So one of my children, and I'm not going to name who in case this child of mine watches it, but I am a single parent, and so I have kids that are with me sometimes, with their dad sometimes, kids that live here, kids that live in Swift Current. And one of my children was visiting me, and on more than one occasion, this child made a racial slur or a comment that was perceived to be racist. And I could have done the easy thing, which was to reprimand this child and tell them don't do it. The easy thing would have been to be like, oh, well, that's just the way they are, or it's not that big of a deal because it wasn't super over, it wasn't outright racism. And instead, I chose the more difficult path. So when this happened with this particular child of mine, we were driving somewhere. The first time we had company, and we were all in the same vehicle, I kicked that child out of the car. Like, I literally stopped the vehicle, asked that child to leave the vehicle, and walk the rest of the way to where we were going. And I did that a second time because a year later, we were doing something else in another city. In fact, I think it was in Calgary, staying at an Airbnb. Same thing. This child made some sort of offhanded comment that could have been deemed racist, or actually not could have been deemed racist. What am I saying? Was racist. And again, in the middle of Calgary in winter, I kicked this child out of the car again and made him walk the rest of the way to the Airbnb. And the reason I'm telling this story is because it can be extremely difficult when you're raising children in two separate homes, and it's actually can be difficult when you're raising children in the same home and your partner does not have the same values as you do, or your partner does not take those values as seriously as you do, or is as willing to act on their values. And so what I want to say is, as parents, it is extremely important for us to stand up for what we believe, to step into that position of power and leader as a parent, and to give those children the absolute best example of what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. Now, I'm not going to change that child's belief around African American individuals, or I'm not going to change the way that child acts when he's not around, or they're not around me. I don't have that much power, but what I do have power over is what goes on around me, what goes on in my environment, what I will accept, what I won't accept. Similar situation happened while teaching, and this is me calling all parents and all teachers to stand up and speak out. I had a student at one point in my middle school class, grades 7 through 9, in an art class, who drew a swastika on a group project, and it's just a joke, or wasn't a big deal, or didn't mean anything. No. I acted on that. That student was suspended. This same student later on used the N-word as a swear. He burned himself with the glue gun and used the N-word as a swear. And I felt myself fill with such rage. Immediately I did something, got the principal involved again, but I don't think he was suspended for that. And as far as I'm concerned, he bloody well should have been. So the reason that what I want to do is I want to encourage you. I want to encourage each and every one of us who are white-skinned, who have experienced white privilege most of our lives, or all of our lives, all of our lives, and for generations, to take a look at any covert racism that's going on. If your child is listening to music that's degrading to other cultures, even degrading to women, check that out. Check it. If your child is making just slight comments or using the N-word with his friends, stop it. Speak up. Do something about it. It's not okay. Well, here comes someone back home. I think this is Michael. Anyway, I probably should cut it short because maybe he'll want to talk to me or something. But all I'm saying is, you have a responsibility to write a different story for your family. As a teacher, you have a responsibility to write a different story for your classroom. And I'm calling you to do that. Hey, Michael, I'm just doing a live.
No worries.
I'm calling you out to do that. That's it. That's all. That's all I got for you today. I hope you have a great day. And if you feel inspired, share this video, because there is a lot of white privileged folks like myself who need to hear more about how they can make a difference, how they can step up, how they can speak out. It was not easy for me to kick my kid out of a van in a city in front of my friends, but I had to do it. I knew that I had to do it because there was no other way I was going to make my point. Teenagers can be stubborn as hell. It's important to stick to your values and commit to speaking up. And that's it. That's all I got.